Call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Carla. Here. Kelly.
Here.
Judy. Here. Rosie.
Here.
Chuck.
Here.
Laura.
Pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Public participation, we'll start with you.
Beautification
Insurance?
committee?
No, I'm not here for insurance.
Oh.
They're beautification committee,
Oh,
right?
beautification, okay. Are you gonna talk about you got it written down there, the health plan?
She's not here.
Just discuss that.
She's not here. It's dark.
No, she's not here.
All right, well, these staff reports.
I'm not here either.
I was say they're the
Anything?
beautification committee from where Tony asked me.
Okay. What public participation would you like to talk to us about?
We understood you had questions, and that's the reason we came.
Is this for the Canon Beautification Committee, or you're talking about?
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot to put my hearing aids in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, yeah, I thought that you were interested in our thinking about giving you the money, because our Canon Beautification Committee organization is disbanding. And so I have a little presentation of what we do and what we stand for, and our way we've been handling our tax filings and that kind of thing. And then I end up with talking about whether you want the money, and if you do, how we should tell the community about it. So I just have a little presentation if you'd like to hear.
If you would,
Okay, and I have,
yes, please.
I made a copy. I made only 2 copies of what I'm talking about. So the fiscal officer, you should have one. If I read more, I should. I have to keep this one, or else my mind will go blank, and I won't know what to say. So, we're here tonight as representatives of the Canon Beautification Committee. One other member, Tony, can't be here because she's working, but our last remaining member is Helen Whitesell, and she is ill. We want to talk about the CBC and our decision to disband the organization. So we applied for nonprofit status in April 30th, 2009. We were granted 501c4 status for the promotion of community welfare. We have an organizing document in the name of Canon Beautification Committee that is a 501c4 tax exempt organization with the signatures of 4 initial trustees and dated 12 May 2009. And since we're now a tax exempt organization, we are able to have blanket exemption certificates from Ohio Tax. But of course, we have to keep a record of our finances. So I have a copy of our ledger of donations and expenses for the calendar year 2024 up to this date. And this is a copy of our most recent bank statement dated 11/29/24. And we do have to file, we don't have to file anything annually for the state of Ohio, but we do have to do annual filings as a small exempt organization on Form 990N for the IRS, which I do once a year. And this is my most recent one, which is for calendar year 2023. We only have 3 members left since the amazing Helen doesn't feel that she can care for the village flowers anymore. So we have decided to disband the CBC. And in order to do that, we basically only have to do two things. One is to form our last 990 in, which I do every year, but this one, apparently there's a statement on there, a box to check if you have closed the organization. So I'll be checking that box because we're closing. And then we have to fill out an annual report and asset disposition form so that you'll know where our money has gone. And that is a copy that looks like this that we just fill out with a bunch of information and I can fax it in. And I have made a little notification to notify the committee of our closing. And we're going to put the notification on the village bulletin board and in the Register Herald. But I haven't finished writing it because we need to know what council wants to say about our closing. And here are the options that we have offered, and there may be more that they all have other ideas. But we're hoping to give the money to you because we know that we share CDC's purpose of helping Camden. And so the options are that I thought of is, would you just like a check with no strings attached? Or would you prefer that we state in our closing notification that the CDC is turning our money over to you and suggest that donors send future donations earmarked for flowers beautification to you? But this would require that you have a system of earmarking those donations for that purpose, and it might not be worth the trouble. So we actually have gotten quite a lot of donations over the years, but I'm thinking that perhaps without the active presence of Helen and the visible beautification improvements that she has provided the community, the donations might dry up. And after closings, after we close, the records are required to be kept for 3 years. So another option that we need to decide if you do want to take the money is if you want to keep all of the records yourself for 3 years, or if you want me to keep them. And I'm Lenore Division, sorry, I forgot to tell you. But of course, you would always have access to my records, and they go back to 2004. Those are the earliest ones I have. So, and that's my presentation, and really it's just now up to y'all what you want to do. If you just, or if you have other ideas, in fact, totally different than what I suggested, we're open to those ideas also.
Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody on the council could do anything like Helen has done for all these years. Nobody here would have the, she is, absolutely. And that's why we renamed that park after her in her benefit. Because she's done so much for the community for so many years.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Well, my feeling would be, there's people, companies out there that we could contract with that would do initial plantings, like in the bed here, where we wanted to do that. I mean, there are people who come out and do that. I mean, there's probably one right there that would do it. And then it would, I think Trina and I, a couple of ones, talked about maybe asking the businesses that have a pot or a planter that fronts them to just water it every other day or whatever it would require, at least on the urns. But you'll never be able to replicate the attention and care that Helen gave it, but we could give it a shot. How much money do you have that you're talking about? I mean, that would go a long way for a long time for bedding plants and, you know,
but who
at
would be
least
in
try
charge?
it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But the thing is, there's more than just watering because, you know, there's hours spent in those beds with just weeding.
Well, Rusty volunteered to water twice a week and turn the sprinklers on once, but, you know, other than that, they can't get involved.
Yeah, we can't expect it to know.
Right, no, because
But-
when it's hot, it's every day you're watering.
Yeah.
Somebody had suggested the last time about seeing if FFA students would like to volunteer to help. Is that something we can do? I think, was it Laura? Was it you?
National Honor Society.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Like,
something we
they
can
need
look
hours.
into.
The junior class has to have so many hours
to graduate, it'd be an option.
I think we all owe it to Ellen to try to do something to salvage everything she worked so hard for.
I do too, but I don't think anybody on council wants to be responsible for that, so,
I would find someone that, I mean, I agree with, I think getting the initial flowers in, and maybe we can improve the watering systems. I agree with Jeff, there's gonna have to be maybe a different approach. If you're using bedding plants, I mean, you can put preen down that will keep this germination of weeds from coming up, and then do your, I mean, you use preen probably a lot. So if you're using a bedding plant, not a seed, and then your mulch, I just think, I think asking an ad hoc, different group of people to try to do something that really needs weekly, almost daily, but attention. Well, at least weeding would need to be done regularly. Initial planting, you know, that's once. But the watering, some of that could be set on, we could set that up on we could have that plumbed to do that in both places.
The
It would
time
just
we're
come
going,
on.
yeah.
But, the pots are the things that those are the things that are gonna be time and labor
There's
intensive.
36 stops.
Are they all in front of businesses?
No,
Yeah, I would try to farm that out to who's nearest, whether it's an individual or I would try that, I think.
Or you could do like a sponsor and earn.
Yeah. I think the logistics of it would be, I don't know, where are they? Wherever they are, talk to someone that's nearest and, you know, that's where I would start. If it doesn't work,
that still doesn't answer her question.
No.
about,
Do we want to accept the money?
I would, and I would, until the money runs out, I would contract with somebody locally that says this is here. I mean, nice to get a list of the flowers you guys use in the beds and stuff like that.
We actually have, Helen already made the order for next year.
Yeah.
From Stockside, and, we have not paid for it, but you would have the money to
Yeah.
pay for it. And I could contact them and let them know who to contact to tell us when the flowers are ready.
We just need to find, before we did that, we need to find somebody willing to plant everything.
If you think that you would like to not take this on, I can cancel that order. And then you all can decide, you know, what flowers you.
Well, I would cancel it, yeah.
handle.
No.
No, don't
But,
cancel. If we took the money, we'd have to start a separate account for it.
Why? Why wouldn't it just go to
Just,
the general and be dispersed as?
Yeah,
Is
they
there
just
a
do
line
that.
item for that, or,
Non-profit,
yeah,
cause that would be strictly,
It would just be dispersed,
For-
it's just like when we get ticket revenue, it goes to
Beautification.
general fund and we disperse the money back to where it goes. What do you routinely receive in donations a year roughly?
Well, this year was an exceptional year because, I can go back and find that.
Well, I'm just in general, I just.
Well, I can't trust my
Can you-
memory. This
1,000,
year was
1,500,
exceptional
500.
because Sandy George got a lot of donations from her name. So this year, oh gosh.
I gave him a copy of that.
It was,
Yeah, I see him here on the.
A lot
I've
of
got your
people
sheet.
donated for Sandy and some different.
well, it was, as of 7/17, it was $1,797.90 for Sandy. And then Dr. Thompson donates a lot in memory of patients who, you know, he wants to memorialize or remember.
Okay.
So we get quite a few donations every year, but I'm sorry, I could look back and.
It's okay, I just want something
Pull
general.
that out, but this is an exceptional year because of Sandy.
Okay.
And if you, well,
It's just me, I'm just one vote, but I would like to just try to organize something and take it on and not touch it as much as possible, just, you know, it's in the best interest of the village to keep the village looking as nice as we
Oh,
can.
I agree.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
it's winter. We have plenty of time to like plan and figure out small details of who can do what and how we can make it work. It's just December.
I know a person that has a company come and plant their flowers at their home every year. And I forget what the name of the people are, but they do a beautiful job. But again, I don't know if Luke would be interested in something like that or not.
Sure, I can do that.
And
Totally why I'm not here, by the way.
you make it drafted. But,
So the last paragraph, unfinished paragraph in my notification was going to be saying, and this is, I haven't finished this yet, this is up to y'all, but it says, we will be turning our remaining funds over to the Camden Village Council. We will request that they earmark the funds to be used for the purpose of continuing to beautify our village. If you would like to continue to donate to an organization that shares our goal of improving Camden, please direct your donation to the Camden Village Council. And then I said in parentheses, for the purpose of beautification, and then please send your donation to, and then they would need an address or contact information. But that's what, you know, I had envisioned, but then that, you know, that it requires you guys then to do more work, and
I just think that
I don't know how that would turn out.
it would only take one time for us to find the right contacts. But the work will be in organizing, if there's any work, in getting people to adopt an urn or a pot or whatever we want to call it. Because I don't want to put our guys in charge of going around watering
No.
urns every day. And I don't think that we really need to have to do that. I think there's people that would take on one or two that are.
I think Doc's girls would take care of everything in front of his office and
I know Tony would keep up on her little urn at the
the
library.
library. So I don't think that would be an issue.
I don't either. It's just the weeding, and I think we can eliminate the weeding with the preen and the mulch. Wouldn't you agree? And,
But still, the money coming in, it has to be earmarked just for beautification. Because it's gonna have to be reported every year, obviously. So, I mean, you couldn't put it in a general fund and
I
then
don't
take
know
it
why
for
not.
anything else. This money comes in, has to be just for that.
Okay, well, you would keep track of what was donated for. But I have a feeling that over time, we're probably gonna be, you know, after this 10,000 is exhausted and if the donations don't keep up with what they have been, I would say it's something the village could have, it's not gonna cost that much. Even if the donations stop, you know, it's not gonna be anything that would change our financial picture. But anyway, I would be willing to figure it out, and
We'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we figure it out.
I second that motion.
So would
Discussion?
you like me to do the notification with that statement, that paragraph in it that I just read?
It's fine with me, just don't cancel the flower order quite yet.
Don't cancel the order,
And
okay?
let us know who the contact is, and I'd kinda like to see what the order is, well, see what, probably,
Did no one get us a copy of that? I don't think we have an actual copy, but we could get one.
Any other discussion?
She gets the same flowers every year, Kelly.
okay, alright.
Roll call.
Carter? Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah.
Judy?
Yay.
Lizzie?
Yay.
John?
Yay.
Laura?
Yay.
All right. I guess we'll be taking over.
Thank you for coming in.
You saw Helen, I said it's, you know,
We got more public participation.
Go. Any other public participation? Oh,
Well, I do need some other information, I would we need to know, this is for, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said that. So did you want me to keep our records? They're quite bulky.
I would,
Okay, but you always have access to
Yeah.
them if you wanna look something up. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I need to know, your address, the recipient name, address, phone number, and email.
I don't know, Trina.
Did
just want the PO box, it's PO box one.
I think so. What is it? One? Okay, that's easy. And, I guess they want phone number and email. Do you have, what you give them that and some number?
You can just pick up one of my cards, that'd be okay?
On your
One of
card?
my cards.
Your card out there?
Mhm.
Oh, sure, okay. Yeah, that was all. Now I can sit down.
Thank you.
Your turn.
Got it on Dec5th, Camden, Summer Township Fire Association.
Are you sure? You seemed like you weren't sure.
He was very hesitant. I don't know if he knows.
Like we-
We've been trying to be in contact with our carnival every year, and in 2025, they've requested to come off of Bloomfield and be put back on Main Street. They've made comments that they're losing money in the current location that they're in. To find a carnival staff to come and do this is very difficult. This was back in 2018, we lost Kissel, and then it took, I think we've contacted carnival staffs all around the state of Ohio to try to come in and do this, and there's just nobody to do it back at that time, and that's when we found, Fun Times, and they are our current owner. But like I said,
Are you contracted with them currently? You have,
We are trying,
you have a deal with them right now,
yeah, we are trying to get a new contract,
but you don't have a contract right now.
and they will not contract unless they put out back on Main Street.
The biggest
This
problem we would have with that would be rerouting traffic.
Wait, he said Main Street.
South Main.
South
So,
Main.
we go from like Main
Not
down.
Central.
Oh,
We
from
were
South
there-
Main.
We were there 2 years ago, but then we couldn't go because of the construction of the midship, the fencing.
Oh,
and
okay.
everything.
It was
South Main.
fun
I was
when they were
thinking they was
over
wanting
there.
Back out here again.
No, we can't do 725.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll do South Main with Medship.
We have over 100 employees. We have deliveries coming every day. We have pickup from UPS every day. I don't see how that's gonna be possible over there.
I guess what's our other options? Because they say if
Yeah.
we give them Bloomfield, they are not coming back. And if
I
they
just
don't come
can't see how
back,
Bloomfield's a terrible location.
they said they don't make the foot traffic.
Well, part of the problem is they don't advertise. Years ago, there was posters, and we took posters every place.
No, I agree.
And they don't,
Last year I made over 300 copies that was sent out to the schools.
Yeah, I just, so they're saying, I don't see what they're saying, because you either know it's here or you don't.
And this has been going on forever. I think last year was the 97th year that we've been putting on this one.
Well, you had one year you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just move it farther down past Medship?
So Ron's is getting ready to get renovated as well, like the whole street's
Yeah,
gonna be.
Bloomfield would give you
a
more
mess.
room than further
And
down
Imogen.
South Main.
Oh, yeah.
How would,
I would
in
think-
my
I think
memory,
the park up there would be the ideal place.
Yeah, why don't you guys ever look the park?
That's where they camp.
yeah.
That's where
That's-
all.
Well, see, they'd have all their stuff together.
It'd be a great place up there.
They could park on Bloomfield then.
To me, seems like it's the ideal place.
The width and everything is there.
The water hookups.
Yeah.
I mean.
We have enjoyed it the last 2 years.
I just think it's,
Yeah.
you have the school parking lot, you have the width of the streets, you have.
You even have
everything.
that
It's not us, it's
gazebo.
them. They
Yeah.
say they don't wanna
Vans.
set up there. They're saying they do not get enough foot traffic, and
What if
it's
we
not worth their
help
while to
with-
set up.
Advertising, like, would that change their mind, like, the village help with that?
I think they're pretty much set. They want to be.
How much money do they think they're losing?
They will not lose.
We went back and did our numbers, and they were the same.
Yeah.
That's what I'm,
Cause we get a percentage of what they make authorized, and then obviously we get, the card table money and stuff like that, and then donations. I went back 3 years, and it's consistent on what we make, so I don't know where they're coming from, they're losing money. I don't know if it's in, because we don't get a portion of their food,
Right.
so maybe they make more money in food. We get a portion of the ticket sales for the ride.
If
That's all we get.
for years, Fred, you know, we always had it on Main Street, then we went to Central.
Yep.
And when we first, because we had it on Bloomfield for years,
Mhm.
and he swore he wouldn't make any money, and he made just as much money on Bloomfield.
Well, that's what they're
But-
telling us too.
Posters went every place.
I have a harebrained idea if anybody wants to hear it, because I have lots of those. But what about asking the state, because we never thought we'd get approval for a walking path, even though we have it, but we've not seen it. What would happen if we asked the state to go on one end or the other, probably there's more room on that end, to go right down through the middle of that grassy strip and pave an area, however many feet wide. I don't know how much room they may want, I'm just thinking out loud. Or one end, one side or the other. And let's set that carnival up where you can see the thing coming from both directions.
Oh.
And, maybe they would let us use that one time a year. And it would be a hell of a venue because you've got visibility, you just.
Yeah, the only problem is you don't have no electric hookup down there, you have no water hookup, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Then let's put some there. I mean,
On state property, you're gonna have a hard
well, I
time
mean, you
getting.
have to you keep it on this side of the fence, you'd have to go to it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, I would
And
think,
that's why we're coming to you guys,
Yeah.
just to kind of see what our options are still, because we have to contact them, you know, but we got 6 months.
I don't think that South Main is an option.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
don't.
logistics of what they've got to deal with.
I don't, North Main, you wouldn't be able to.
No, there's not, North Main wouldn't work either.
No,
And then by the church, you can't even get a car past there.
yeah.
Yeah. What about Camden Road? Is that any, there's no water there, there's no electric there, you know.
put it on the football field.
Mud's the thing I worry about. If you don't have, if you have
but
a,
we're
Yeah.
on the football field, it's really a football field, and we are gonna lose money, because we'll take what we make to fix.
Yeah. Well, and you're not gonna get the foot traffic there either. If Bloomfield ain't good enough for them, you know the football field wouldn't be.
I guess basically what we were doing was kind of see what our options are, whatever you tell us, we'll go back with them, and we either have the car, they either come or they don't. I know Tiffany contacted, almost 150 different places, and none of them would come here. And she contacted 2 states out from Ohio, so you're talking Indiana, Illinois, you know.
Yeah, cause they're gonna look at the map and look at your population, and they're gonna be like, no way. That's why Kissel doesn't come here,
Correct.
because they're playing the state fairs.
Yep.
So,
What about the road that the fire department's on?
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
That's you guys go.
Would that be doable? I mean, is it wide enough? Does it have enough?
Well,
Be on North
there's
There's
no
not many
difference,
trees.
Well, the only
Lafayette.
thing is, you got trees there, and you can't put riders.
the
on.
problem, the
Yeah.
reason we took it off of Lafayette was if there's a fire, the Walnut Festival's a little different animal, cause it's just 2 days.
Correct.
Where the
It's
carnival,
whatever we're doing, shut down for it.
well, could you pre-position some equipment to where, of course you couldn't have it locked up, but I mean, you could.
I don't know that they'd be able to get rides on Lafayette though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to.
Yeah.
Big trees, you know what I mean?
In my lifetime, it was South Main, always. Then it moved to, Central, I think, and then it moved to Lafayette and then Bloomfield. So it was all one of those 4 combinations.
Can I say something? Now,
no,
we're talking about this, I honestly think nobody's I don't think it has anything to do with where it's set up at, I don't think it has anything to do with that. We're a small community, we don't have a lot of money in this community, and stuff. The people are working from paycheck to paycheck, and they can't afford to take their kids to the carnival.
There's some of that.
Well, a lot of,
how much were the wristbands this year?
25?
See, and they set all them prices, we have nothing.
Right, but I'm just,
But that's what I'm saying, it's
throw
25,
20 more
you
to
gotta
it, and you're at
remember,
Kings Island.
You drop $75, that's the electric bill, or water bill, or, car payment, whatever, and people just can't afford to do it. I think the best thing is if we can find someone that can bring the prices down, I think they can make more money if they would bring down where more people could come. A lot of people won't come to Camden because they don't want their kids to know that the carnival's in town. Because of that
That's
that
child
reason.
abuse right there.
Agreed.
That's child abuse.
if I'm gonna pay $25 to take my kids to the Canada Carnival for one night, I'm gonna pay the 50 and go to KI. I mean, right there, like, if you, I pay Canada Carnival, but I'm just saying, like, I think if you think about it, it's like, I can just pay that and spend the, you know,
Well, that's
Yeah,
really
it's a
nothing
whole
we can do
different
about it,
thing.
the prices are prices, and,
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't change it.
It's,
But I think that's why they're losing money, not for the location as much as how much.
People
they
can't afford it.
And it don't really matter if that's the reason or not, if they don't wanna do it,
Right.
they can use any excuse they wanna use,
Right.
so.
So our whole purpose here is actually just to see where you guys will allow us to tell them they can set up.
Tell them they go up Lafayette, they got Bloomfield, or they can use the park. Wouldn't be my opinion, what do you guys think?
I agree, I mean, there's not a whole lot of other choices.
We can figure out better ways to advertise.
How, North Lafayette?
Yeah.
If you,
it's just like when we changed
What do we
the,
do for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have the gazebo there, you have that big plot of land, like, it's not a big plot of land, but
it's just like when we changed the trick treat. You mean overnight, everybody knew that. So, like I said, you either know the carnivals in town or you don't. Anymore, I mean, I like the idea of posters because I just think it's a good idea to have something in someone's line of sight. But, you know,
social media is a big thing, but
It's
also
everything.
putting flyers up. I mean, do we go to West Ellick and Lewisburg and put flyers up? Because I know people, like, when we had it last year, I had a friend that I invited up. She's from West Ellick. She brought her kids, and I walked my 2 girls, she walked her 2 kids, and that was out of town, but she came all the way over here just for our carnival.
Well, good luck trying to,
Well, I thank you for your time.
yeah.
thank
We
you for coming.
appreciate your efforts.
Yeah.
How much do you guys hope to make, or do you make usually in a given?
On average, anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000 is what we.
That's what you clear
And
after
that goes,
everything?
like I said, that goes to the association, and then the association, what we do with our funds is we all set costs for the fire board. You know, for instance, we just bought a new, gas detector that was, $800 bucks?
800.
And then we also just bought a new intake for the tanker, that was
1,200.
1,200. So I mean, we just spent, $2,000 off of what we made from Black Walnut Festival. So, that's our main goal as association, and that's our biggest fundraiser for the year, so.
All right, any other public participation? Anybody else? All right, staff reports done, old business. Make sure everybody gets a copy of the manual to take home and go over, so we'll look at it. Any changes anybody wants to make in that, try to have it made, make notes of it, and we can talk about it.
I have some old business.
Okay?
When we announced the new hire, it was told to me that it was not public on record, the pay rate and whether she was full-time or part-time and what her benefits were, so.
It was the same as Patsy's was, and the rate was the same as everybody got. So, she's making $16 an hour. Right now she's part-time, and she's got the same benefits that Patsy had. She works for the clerk. She was here tonight for the mayor's court.
How's that all
Good deal. According to Matt, doing real good. Trying to get some stuff fixed up in there. Any other old business?
I have some. When we discussed a while back about prosecuting attorney, I had asked Matt to give us some numbers, and we didn't have those. So I wanted to share those. So our attorney has done, I think it was last year, 159 non-felony cases that she's done for us. And that's a 12% increase from the year prior. And she was asking for the retro pay, and we didn't have those numbers to
Right.
talk about. This also isn't counting all the cases that she takes to trial. So she just wanted an answer on if we could do some retro pay for her.
So is she a contract employee? Did you
Yeah.
contract her?
And,
So if I have a contract with somebody,
well, we told her to go back to January.
Yeah.
She wanted to go back to August or June, July or something like that last year, when her contract ended.
Yeah, we had discussed like that it was happening, we just didn't have numbers to go
Right.
off of. So, I mean, here's my opinion. To find a prosecuting attorney that does the amount of work of a small village is tough. I actually spoke with Eaton and asked them about theirs as well. They've been utilizing their prosecuting attorney for years, and like, people, we're not gonna get that up. She works well with the police department, that's what they want.
Yeah, man.
I don't have any problem with all that. I have a real problem with somebody wanting to go back that far, wanting money that they agreed to initially. I'm for, you said from January, I'm all ears, and if the raise wasn't enough, then we can talk about that, but I don't feel like going back and paying somebody for work they've already done and contracted for previously.
I think she was talking about the massive increase of.
Well, that's what happens, you know.
Yeah, but
you're
sometimes
doing
there's a
job.
decrease.
What about the times where she had less to do? You know,
Hey,
so,
I'm just letting you know.
I know
like,
you're the
this
messenger.
This is just my spiel, this is my opinion, I'm in support of it, that's just,
We do have to make a decision on it though.
yeah.
What's,
We've been sitting on it for a while.
what,
She wanted 1750.
We offered her 15, and Matt said she would have taken the 15.
would or would not?
She would have,
Okay,
but again,
If we go
the
back.
sticking point was going back to January or June or July when her contract
well,
ended.
what about the 1,700 and we forget the back pay?
She wanted both.
You know?
Oh,
Don't always get what you want.
17, oh. With the 1750, she wanted back pay too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she wanted back pay if we paid her 1500.
That was not my understanding anyway.
I think she would be happy with any type of retro pay. Again,
Till, to when? Okay.
There it is.
Ooh, we came.
She agreed to the 1,500 and
Okay.
was asking for some back pay to the time when she requested the increase,
Which was when? Did she?
which was whatever the letter was, I think it was October of last year.
Well, we offered her back pay to January, so we're talking about a couple months difference.
Here,
Did we
2
not?
months.
I thought we offered her back pay to January.
So
No,
I
we
wasn't
didn't.
aware of
we've had so many conversations
I
about
know we
this,
have.
that's why I think we should just settle it tonight.
Let's settle it tonight.
Okay.
1,500. We've been giving everybody else back pay till January. What kind of back pay is she talking about to January? I mean,
her old rate was 1,000, so it would be 500 a
oh
month.
Lord.
So it would be like 9 months, $4,500. If we go to January, because the 1,500, Trina has already paid her 2 months.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. So she's already receiving that.
Okay, so she's good with that.
She was good with that.
Okay.
So now it's just a matter of the back pay.
Which means we don't have somebody doing all these cases,
I
like we're
understand.
losing.
It's just a big increase, and it just seems like all we're doing is just shelling out money all the time. I'm for whatever council wants to do. If you want, if it's a $4,500 figure, do you think she'd take 3 and we'll be done?
I think the original to square up for what she was requesting was 5,500. But if you pay it back to, no, I'm not saying that she's gonna balk it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't asked her.
No. I
I'm
guess,
just relaying to her, you know, I'm in the middle, relaying it to Carla, and,
I guess there's a time when you,
Well, I think what's happened is, we talked about it once, and it got tabled, and we talked about it again, and then the figures just,
somebody
it
spit out
keeps
a number.
going.
She's good with 15. What's the number you want to give her to move along, and we won't talk about it anymore?
What you want, 5,500?
that was that would be
Clear
her
as
top, what
October.
she asked for, yes.
Do 3 grand.
I would like to see the back pay just till January if she's willing to accept that.
And that would be how much?
That's
4,500.
I don't know when you
That's the
started paying her
4,500?
1,500, so.
And Trina would know, I think we paid her
2 months.
in October, is that right? So it would be 9 months, it would be $4,500.
Well, I gotta have something, let's call it 4, it'd be good.
4250.
I'm going for 45,
Oh,
but
okay,
that's
well,
my.
I'll second what you said, 4,500, let's not be afraid of our
But
money.
moving forward, do you think you could give us, like, every 6 months, kind of like an overview of what she does?
I'm sure she wouldn't argue with that. I mean, I can't speak for her,
Yeah.
but I can
Because like
certainly ask her.
like you and I've talked, I mean, just getting these numbers made it a lot more sense to me.
And my question, Matt, is Mayor's Court paying for this, or where's this coming from?
This is out of our
Budget?
yeah, because she is contracted, she doesn't do any cases here. She
Any,
does
okay.
cases at Eaton Municipal Court. She'll prosecute any misdemeanor.
Can that come out of mayor's court budget?
Well, essentially,
Yeah.
he
I
gets
mean-
Mayor's, it'd be nice to have Mayor's Court. You know, doing more with me. Well, I made a second to Judy's 4,500 and
Discussion? Roll call?
Hello, yeah, Kelly,
yay.
Judy, yay, Lizzie,
Yay.
Jeff,
Yay.
Laura.
Yay.
No?
Alright, get back moving. Alright, any other old business? Some new business.
I have I am in the middle of applying for the Paul High Community Grant. And I just wanted to, one, make sure everything was okay with what I wanna apply for. But if we end up getting it, I wanna do kind of a healthy Camden program. So I wanna partner up with the pharmacy, Dr. Thompson's office, and help with people that can't pay for their medications. Every year that we have the health fair, we have people that come in and say like, well, I don't have the, like, how do I get my hands on a glucose meter or the strips or the things that we are asked every year. It's just,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. And I think that we should be doing some of these things anyways. So I have a plan, I have to submit it. It doesn't mean I'll get it, but if we do, I can bring it back and we can all agree, but I don't know if that's something that
What do
you
you need
guys
us
would.
to do?
Absolutely nothing,
Oh.
just.
Well, then go for it.
Just go for
Yeah,
it.
well,
What grant is this?
It's a community grant that Nicole Hyde does every year.
Oh, okay.
How many dollars you talking about?
I'm asking for 5,000.
That's for Ken.
Yeah, if you want 5,
Yeah.
Next year. But I mean, I'm not saying, the problem is, I would wanna make sure that everybody knows, like, this may not be a sustainable thing. We might not get it every year, but if we can get it and give it back to the community.
Who
and help
administers
out,
it then?
That'd be great.
They would cut us a check, the McCall Hyde Foundation would cut, the village a check.
Mm.
And then we would cut them checks, like the pharmacy and, I mean, they'd have to apply and do all
Yeah.
that, but it would be nice to help people that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then, I have a question, have we ever had an energy audit done here? Ever?
I'm aware of.
Jeff, do you know?
You mean, in this building, in general?
In general.
No, I'm not aware.
It's free for the first step, like they will come and kind of look at Camden, see where we can,
You mean for the village purposes, or for everyone in the
for
village?
the village's purposes.
Our,
So like, let's say we wanted to
Facilities.
put our facilities, the water,
yeah, okay.
the
Yeah.
count, or the maintenance building, this building, if we ever wanted to put lights, decorative lights on the streets,
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
saves
I like it.
the village money. The first step is completely free, they'll come out, they'll tell us where they think we can save money, we don't have to go to an extra step or anything like that, but I would like to. at
I'm
least
good
do
for
the first
free.
step.
First step is free, that's where they get you in.
But
Yeah,
still,
I
like,
mean, if they save you a lot of money, then that's a good deal. I would think.
I think it's all enough.
Well, can I back up 1 second, because something just came to mind when she said that, and something that Trina told me, that the guy that was helping you initially, what was his name? The guy from the UAN?
Oh, Richard.
Richard, and then you brought it to my attention the other day, and here we are, 2 years on, and we have done nothing with water sewer rates or even the escalator should have been put back in place 2 years ago, we talked about that, but didn't you tell me that we're running $159,000 in the hole? So, we never did hire anyone to do the study because it was $30,000, and then they came back and said it was 15. So we need to do is, if we do nothing else but other than just a seat of our pants increase, we're gonna have to do something. You can't.
Well, I mean, we asked a year ago
I know.
to get, you know, what's it cost us to generate a gallon and get rid of a gallon?
I think, now, again, yes, here we are, and we're talking about, again, just generally, usually we get things done.
So you wanna have somebody come in, like audit that?
Well, we kind of kicked around, I'll be brief because we're running along here a little bit, but we talked about finding a department over at Miami, remember, that would maybe do I think that's probably pie in the sky. Richard said we need to do $10, didn't he, right off just to even start getting ready. And
$10 increase?
yep, yeah, oh yeah, $10. But, so that's kind of the starting point. So, I mean, we've held rates for how long, and we've actually decreased rates. We've not had an increase in a good while, but we've not had a significant increase.
And we went from 89.05 to 93.05.
Yeah.
That's,
It would be nice to be able to see a breakdown, so then everybody knows where their money's going. Like, we can say, well, this is how much it costs to produce.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because like, if you raise it and nobody has any information,
right.
Well, that's why we asked,
Yeah.
you know, a year ago to give us a number.
Well, we gotta get back on that, whatever the situation is, we gotta get back on the rates.
We also need to be doing things like making sure that late fees are charged, making sure that shutoffs are being done. That little bit of revenue does help pay for everything, and we're not doing shutoffs this year. We've done shutoffs twice. I think together between both was 30 people.
Yeah, but that's
So
not,
we got
that's
people
not
that are
gonna generate
behind.
159,000.
Yeah.
Right, and it's not, but we have people that are behind. And so when we're looking at the 30, 60, and 90-day delinquent lists, and we have people that owe gobs of money, that little bit, I mean, why raise mine $10 when we got somebody that's 90 days late and still don't have a shut-off? That's what people are going to ask.
But even if they're 90 days late, those 30 people don't make up that 159,000.
And you're right, but people are going to want to know why Jim Bob next door doesn't pay his water for 6 months, but I got to pay $10 a month to make up for it. That's how people are going to view it. It doesn't matter what the numbers say. If we're gonna look into it, we need to have our water board meeting. We need to do things that generate a little bit of money here and there. We're not having water board meetings. We're not making people pay their bills.
I disagree with that. We do make people pay their bills. I'll have to go back and look through this.
Have we replaced all the meters?
No, and we found out that some of the meters can't be read by our stuff.
We have to get the software first.
So that's another issue we're dealing with.
And
But anyway,
we don't wanna go there, but
I don't think we should do anything until
we
we get the
can't do
meters
anything till we
going.
find out how much it costs us to get the water.
The raw water doesn't cost us that much. It just doesn't cost us, it's not really the cost of the water. It's everything associated with the, treating and electric and wages
It's all
and
got to do
benefits,
with
everything
it's all
else.
got to do with the water.
It all has to do with water, but that's
Exactly.
actually the water itself.
Well, you gotta add in all
Yeah.
the tower and all the chemicals and all that to find out what it costs to make that water.
Every time we clean those stupid wells up there, it's what, $24,000 or something
Wow.
ridiculous?
Yeah,
So,
crazy.
you know, you can't do that too many times a year and not feel it. And, you know,
but the public doesn't know that.
No.
They have no idea what the cost
You know,
is.
and 2/3 of our manpower comes out of water and sewer.
right. We're behind everywhere. We've not done anything. You know, I don't wanna raise rates any more than anybody else, but I'm not gonna sit here and continue to flush our money literally down the toilet. When it should be, you know, the rates need to be increased, and I hate it, but how it is. I mean, when I first came to council, Judy remembers, we had to do an $8 increase, that was 20 years ago. $8 in one swoop, and that was, $8 was a lot bigger number than it is now, 20 years ago. But, you know, the numbers don't lie. I can remember one time we were down at the other building, and there was a nice old lady sitting in the back, and I forget, I think it had something to do, we were trying to get the water loop in the water tower. Do you remember that? And she says, she said, I'd like to do an ice cream social to help raise money for the water system. And I said, well, that's very nice. I said, how much do you think our water system costs us a month with the payment? She said, I don't know, a couple $1,000 a month. I said, it's $24,000 a month. And she said, oh, and sat back down, because she knew she wasn't gonna raise $24,000. And that kind of goes to the point, I don't,
Yeah.
I mean, I want people to pay their bills, but I think by the same token, sometimes you, especially in difficult times, I think it's nice if we can be a little more, we've been through an era where services were discontinued with, you know.
We were lenient during COVID because everybody it was a difficult financial time, and I realize that, you know.
All right, well, we'll have to look into the water system.
Yeah, we gotta work on it.
All right, general thoughts, I see Mr. Kramer has come in. Would you like to?
I can. Didn't know whether I deserved to get an audience that quickly.
Well, you don't, but we're gonna do it anyway.
We were able to get information from, you can hand these down, I hope I have them. So I think we're gonna be short, somebody may have to share.
No, I can share. Here, let's send it down.
All right. Been able to, maybe we have to get the contractor started a little earlier on the street and drainage project. So, I didn't do you one, sorry, I'll get you one. So well, Trina, I thought I would be able to, we would get calls back and stuff. It's sort of an extensive project, process of us. I think read this letter out loud to you so that you can soak it up maybe a little more quickly. And it's a summary of where things have been, and it explains what we're trying to do with some references that we ran into an awkward situation with the road bidder, and so this will explain it. Do you wish, Dave, for me to read it as we go through it a little bit, or not?
What's the bottom line?
Yeah, what's,
The bottom line is probably right starting here on page 1, you see the tabulation of the 4 bids we received, and they were really tight and close, so we were glad that our estimate worked out pretty well as far as that went. And then I will at least refer you to the paragraph right below that, which refers to the fact that we have to get references. We do a little bit more extensive request on that than some do, but it pays off in cases like this.
you know them, Jeff? You know any of those?
Don't know any,
Okay.
okay. What we checked on the bottom paragraph there is we found that the low bidder had what we knew, a personal experience that we had, and I started calling around. We just got these bids were taken on Monday, so we got them yesterday morning and stuff. Let's start doing our comparison and stuff. And the contractor, Rubal, is ready to get going. But we found several, it's hard to find any positive references on that first one there, and that parallels an experience we had a few years ago. And so you can read what it says on the top of the second page about the second low bidder, who's not very much above them, 18,000 or so, and is still well under the numbers that we talked about last in October, we start this rebidding process. So this is an award, and I don't at all argue with just going right to the bottom line of it. This is a recommendation to me that you award the project to Brewball Construction.
It wasn't the highest, but it wasn't the lowest, so,
No.
and this is,
Second.
it's been vetted basically.
Didn't they do some work for us?
I don't know.
That sounds familiar. I feel like I've.
Has Brewball done work for us in the past? For
The name sounds familiar.
I don't know, but boy, I can't, did not bring a list of one, but they're highly recommended by everyone, including, Kyle Cross, County has had them for years. They're from Arcanum, and, they do a lot of state work. I cannot recall a job right around here.
So if I'm the low bidder and someone, I underbid someone 18,000 and change, that doesn't, I mean, the low bidder doesn't matter, it's, you're taking the best bidder.
Yes, and that takes a certain amount of,
So you
not
can-
saying something to do that, but we have documentation. I did not bring it here with us, but I can bring it for you if you get on a thing that builders buy into, called Access Builders Exchange. There is project after project, probably 6 or so, where these people have been the low bidder, but they picked the second low bidder.
Now, can they knock it out in the time frame? They're okay with that being done by March?
Yeah. Brewball Construction is the one that, what's an example? We redid the creek with them several years ago on the east side of Lewisburg, Creek Channel. The latest one you may notice, if you go up and get on 70 and go east, they did the whole new bridge, overpass there at the I-70 and Arlington Road exit there on the
That's why
north
I've
side of
seen their
Rockville.
equipment.
Oh, that's a nice,
So now
that's a
you
nice
do
looking
it.
bridge.
Yeah, they do a lot of those kind of projects. They're doing the sewer work now in Trumbull County there for Glenwood along Route 35. That's the reason 35 is close east of Eaton. So they're doing the sewer work for that.
So we need to decide whether we want to do this.
So we need to decide tonight if that's what we're gonna do?
If you can, then the commissioners are prepared to award, on a little bit accelerated schedule. I'll let them know first thing in the morning.
Well, we need a motion.
Yeah.
So we have to have a resolution number. We've got 2024, but is that 2024, 2024?
No, we're gonna have to have around there, and it's probably, it's gonna be 2019-2024.
What was that number again?
2019.
So when I found this didn't come, I decided I was supposed to be helping wire up a Christmas tree in church, and I decided better come here first. So I did.
We'll read the resolution.
Do I have to do, I don't have to do that as an emergency, do I? I make a motion we adopt resolution 2019-2024, a resolution authorizing the Village of Camden to accept the base bid of Brewball Construction Incorporated for the Camden Drainage and Street Improvements Project rebid November 2024, and to execute any contracts necessary.
I second it.
Discussion? Roll call?
Yeah.
Judy,
Yay.
Susie,
Yay.
Jeff,
Yay.
Laura.
Yay.
Passed.
Thank you for your flexibility.
Thanks for getting this done
Don't just let
quickly.
anybody walk in here, Todd. Don't let anyone walk in at all hours, for the sake of voting.
I just want this project done. It'd be nice
I
to see it
didn't
done.
agree much help with
Keep
it.
tripping over that
We just,
one
we wanted to
fire
make sure
department when I leave.
we knew what we said right there in that letter. That was written for a little while.
We'll go home and wire up your Christmas tree.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
church.
sorry, it's looks a little like Chevy Chase.
Good luck with that.
Thank you, yeah, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Do
you.
you want me to send this to Mike? Do I need to send this to Mike?
Yeah.
Commissioner?
Yeah,
Okay.
right, yeah, that's fine. Copy me on that
Okay.
also. And, that way they'll informed and they were good.
All right.
Thank you.
Any more general thoughts?
I don't have any.
We gonna talk about this insurance?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do we have an estimated time from the post office of when the water bills are gonna be here?
Nobody's talked to the post office. We'll call them up and ask them.
Oh, what are we gonna do with this?
We need to-
I took a holiday, I'm sorry. I didn't feel like working Thursday or Friday.
Everybody was on off.
Well, I mean, I understand that, it's just something
But
that
they
was
went
asked.
out, they have been mailed,
Yes.
so we can't control what the. post
Within a couple of days.
Oh, but I can't, why not?
Because
office-
we've been having constant trouble with the mail. And this ain't the first time, and it probably won't be the last time.
Speaking of that,
We can't even get payments out to,
I need to decide what to do on late fees. For instance, the church. I just got theirs like 3 days ago for last month. So I can't be doing this late fee on the 15th because I know all these people are paying. I just haven't.
and they're not
received
getting
I
a
wrote
bill.
that check forever ago.
I'm just telling you.
But I,
Alan George, for
I got the
instance,
check,
just
so
through
the church-
Church Bank. And I got his.
That's how Menards was. We said,
Directly through a bank.
Oh, yeah.
should have paid off check to Menards, and it was 2 months later.
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's why I haven't been doing late fees.
yeah.
I just be reversing because,
Wow. We just got our
Ongoing.
check yesterday.
All right, can I get a motion for approval of the minutes?
make a motion to approve minutes.
Discussion? Roll call.
Colonel, you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lizzie.
Yay.
All of them?
Yeah,
Yay.
All of them?
Yeah.
I get a motion for the payroll.
Make a motion, we pay our employees.
I second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Colonel, you, Kelly,
Yeah.
Judy,
Okay.
Lizzie,
Yay.
Jeff,
yeah.
Laura.
Yay.
All right, we're looking at the purchase order and invoices. Can I get a,
Make a
mo-
motion, we pay our bills. And approve invoices, or purchase orders.
get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Carla, you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Judy,
Yay.
Lizzie,
Yay.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Laura.
Yay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Discussion?
Do you need a second?
Yes. Roll call.
Carla, you, Kelly,
Yeah.
Judy,
Yay.
Lizzie,
Yay.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Laura.
Yay.